You just got your brand new laptop. Finally, an upgrade. Maybe you saved up for months, read review after review, and clicked order on that model promising 16 gigabytes of RAM. That's double what your old computer had. No more slowdowns, no more Chrome tabs crashing, just pure unstoppable speed. At least, that's what you expect. But then, an hour after first boot, something strange happens. Maybe you download the recommended monitoring app. Maybe you just hit Control-Shift-Escape to open up Task Manager, curious to see all that extra memory. And it hits you. Half your RAM is already in use, without even running anything demanding. Panic. Confusion. Is something wrong, or is your new laptop playing tricks? It turns out this moment of shock happens every single day to new PC and laptop owners all over the world. Search RAM missing online, and you'll find thousands of people asking the same thing. Is my laptop broken? Did Windows eat my RAM? Where did it all go? Here's the twist. Your laptop probably isn't broken at all. In fact, it's working exactly as intended. But the way modern computers manage memory is a tangled web of hardware tricks, software decisions, marketing spin, and sometimes a sprinkle of pure mystery. And until you peel back the layers, it's easy to feel like you've been ripped off. So what's really happening behind that innocent-looking RAM usage number? Let's dive in. When you hit the power button, your machine springs to life. The CPU, graphics, keyboard, trackpad, Wi-Fi chips, sound, every one of them needs a slice of memory to talk to each other. Before you ever see your desktop wallpaper, gigabytes are reserved in the shadows. Some of it is locked away on behalf of your integrated graphics chip, especially if you're on a slim laptop without a dedicated GPU. Want fancy 3D animations, fluid video, or just a sharp, bright screen? That takes memory, and not just a little. Integrated graphics can take anywhere from half a gig to 4 gigabytes or more, sliced right off the top. That's just the beginning. Windows, or Mac OS or Linux for that matter, loads up core system processes, drivers for every new accessory, and a whole team of software helpers. Think of it like a backstage crew in a theater. The audience rarely sees them, but the show can't go on without them. Touch gestures, Bluetooth toggles, background updates, security scans, internet syncing, even those flashy RGB keys. They all quietly demand a piece of your RAM from the moment your laptop wakes up. Then there's the stuff manufacturers include, for better or worse. That snazzy Lenovo Vantage app, Dell Update, HP Support Assistant. They're meant to keep things running smoothly, but every extra feature, discount offer, or bundled antivirus is another program eating a bit of your memory budget, running in the background by default. Many of these preload with the factory install, whether you want them or not. If you're a power user, you might decide to uninstall the worst offenders or disable them at startup. But be careful. Sometimes, removing the wrong driver or utility can kill a key feature, like your backlit keyboard or advanced touchpad functions. Let's get back to that number you're staring at. Maybe you remember older computers showing 90% of their RAM free when doing nothing. So why do modern machines seem so much more bloated? Part of the answer is simple. Expectations have changed. Years ago, software ran lean out of necessity. There simply wasn't enough RAM to go around. Today, Windows and most modern operating systems are designed to use available memory to preload apps, store system cache, and predict what you'll need next. This is why, even with nothing open, RAM fills up. Your computer is trying to make sure frequently used apps can pop open instantly, and it's more likely to prefetch data it thinks you'll need. Think of RAM like a workbench. If you have a huge one, it's not efficient to keep it empty. You might as well keep your screwdriver and drill handy, right? Computers work similarly. Free RAM is wasted RAM. But the moment you need more for a big task, your system can quickly clear space. Now, let's break down a few more hidden reasons for disappearing RAM. Integrated graphics. As discussed, this is a big one for most laptops. If you want to see just how much your system is reserving, open Task Manager, click on the Performance tab, and then on Memory. See that line labeled Hardware Reserved? That's what your graphics is borrowing, permanently shaved off your total. System reserved memory. Drivers, firmware, device mappings, all necessary, all invisible at a glance. Sometimes a small bug in a driver can make this number explode, leading to whole gigabytes lost until an update fixes it. Windows Superfetch and Preload. This service tries to guess what you'll use next and loads chunks into memory in the background, making your workflow feel faster. Smart, but not always transparent. Background apps and services. Open your Startup tab in Task Manager. You may be shocked by how much launches automatically. Sync tools, voice assistants, clipboard managers, printer drivers, game launchers, you name it, they launch quietly. Incorrectly installed RAM or shared memory bugs. On rare occasions, especially after user upgrades, a RAM stick might not be properly seated, or firmware may misreport total memory. If you ever see less than installed RAM in your BIOS, that may be a hardware issue worth checking. But here's what's wild. All of this is usually by design. Modern memory management strikes a balance between speed and efficiency rather than focusing on keeping RAM free. It's one reason why, when you finally open up Photoshop, launch a game, or start a massive browser session, the system feels snappy. Unused background memory is released on the fly to keep you moving. What about other common questions and myths? If I have 50% memory left, is my system slow? Not at all. What matters most is whether you're ever hitting 95 to 100% for long periods and hearing your hard drive or SSD start paging heavily. Occasional high usage is fine. Do I need to manually free RAM? Not on modern systems. That's almost always handled better behind the scenes. Is my computer hiding RAM just so I'll buy more? Not deliberately, but it's true. If you have specific uses like video editing, gaming, or running dozens of programs, more RAM is always better. Just make sure you understand where yours is really going before you spend more. Still, there are smart tweaks. If you want to lighten the background load, uninstall bloatware and vendor pre-installs. Disable unneeded startup apps in Task Manager, Startup tab. Adjust your integrated graphics memory settings in BIOS, but be careful. Too little and graphics performance will tank. If you're a Windows Power user, periodically check for driver and firmware updates, which sometimes fix runaway system memory bugs. But for most users, as long as you're not experiencing constant lag or out-of-memory errors, it's normal for modern laptops to reserve a surprising chunk of RAM right out of the box. The next time you see an alarming memory number, remember, RAM isn't meant to be empty. It's meant to be busy, working for you, optimizing the experience. And unless you're running into real limitations, you don't need to worry about every missing gigabyte. The real secret isn't that RAM vanishes, it's that modern tech hides complexity beneath the hood, trading a bit of transparency for a whole lot of convenience. Still confused by vanishing laptop resources? Batteries pull the same trick. Want to know why your laptop dies so fast, even when the specs promise all-day life? Check out our video on why batteries never keep up. It'll change how you see your device forever.